Now you may ask yourself, ¿por qué estudiar las palabras de cortesía? Why study courtesy words? Why study words to be polite? Well, it's always nice to be nice. So if you're raised in the South like I am, manners are expected. It's a way of life. And it's always a good thing to know how to be polite to others. It gets you further in life. So let's look at a few of the words. Hola, hola, hello, bienvenidos. Bienvenidos simply means welcome. You can welcome them to your home, you can welcome to school, you can welcome to the restaurant where you're working. Bienvenidos, welcome. Buenos dias, buenos dias, good morning. In America, when we say good morning, sometimes it gets shortened to morning. In Espanol, that will get shortened to buenos. You can simply say buenos sometimes for good morning, or some of the others in the afternoon. Then we have buenas tardes, good afternoon, and then buenas noches, buenas noches. Now this can mean good night and good evening. So it can be when you're telling someone goodbye for the evening, good night. You can tell them good night as they go to bed, or you can greet someone with a good evening because it's the first time you see them and it's in the evening, right? So it's kind of a multi-purpose word. Now we're going to talk about some ways of greeting other people. The first one is senor. Senor. This means Mr., but it can also mean sir. And again, as I said earlier, I was raised in the South. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir is very, very common. So to say yes, sir in Spanish should be si, senor. But then if you're just going to greet someone by their last name, you could be like Senor Campbell for Mr. Campbell. And we have senora, senora, and the same. This is Mrs. and ma'am. Si, senora, yes, ma'am. This is for a married lady. Senora is a married lady. Senorita, senorita. This is the greeting for an unmarried lady. Miss. In Spanish, as of right now, they do not have Ms. like we see that we use in America. I'm not sure if it's a worldwide thing or not for like divorced people or ones who don't want to say whether they're married or not married. So I would err on the side of just saying senora, maybe, especially if a person is just a little bit older. So senora married, senorita not married, senora, I guess maybe when you don't know. This is the magic word, la palabra mágica. Por favor. Por favor. Please. Please. You get a lot of things when you use your manners and say please, right? Por favor. Gracias. Thank you. Gracias. But if you're really impressed and you're happy, you could say muchas gracias. Muchas gracias. Thanks a lot, or thanks so much. Okay, it's a little extra. Muchas gracias. Much thanks is what it literally translates to. De nada. So maybe that's how you reply when someone says to you, thank you. You could say de nada. Literally means of nothing, but it's what we use for you're welcome. And then maybe instead of you're welcome, sometimes people say, está bien. It's okay. Like, don't worry about it. Está bien. It's okay. Mucho gusto. This is used when you first meet someone, and it simply means nice to meet you. Technically, it means much pleasure. So it's kind of like it's a pleasure to meet you. So mucho gusto. Nice to meet you. Or you could say encantado or encantada. That last letter on there means that it's either feminine or masculine. If you are a guy, you would say encantado. If you're a girl, you would say encantada. Literally, it's kind of like charmed or I'm enchanted with you. It's nice to meet you. Okay, encantado, encantada. Yeah. We're going to look at ways to apologize. We all need to practice apologizing, right? None of us like to admit we're wrong. None of us like to apologize, but it is a good thing to do, and it's a good thing to know how to do. So the first one is perdón, perdón, excuse me, or I'm sorry. So you can say it as I'm sorry, I just did something wrong, or it can be perdón, you're trying to get around someone or you've messed up something. You're, oh, perdón, I'm sorry. Lo siento. This is truly the apology. You have done something wrong and you need to apologize for it. And you are going to say, lo siento, lo siento. And then we have disculpe. And this kind of is back how perdón was. It's excuse me or I'm sorry. It can be either way. You're trying to get around them. You're trying to, you bump into them. You're like, oh, excuse me, or I'm sorry. It's just very interchangeable. No difference there. Con permiso. Literally, it means with permission. So this is the phrase that you would use maybe when you are trying to get around someone on the sidewalk, or they're blocking your way into a room and you kind of want to get in there and you want to say, excuse me, as in, let me pass, please. That is when you use con permiso, with your permission. All right, salud, bless you. It literally means health. This is what you say when someone sneezes. In English, we say bless you, or God bless you. And in Spanish, you say health, as in you hope their health is coming back and they're not sick. So, salud. So now you're leaving. You're going to say adios, adios, goodbye. And you can also say ciao, bye. In my head, ciao is bye, adios is goodbye, but there's really truly no difference. That's just kind of in my brain how I differentiated them. But you can use adios or ciao. Both mean goodbye, bye, see you later kind of context. Yeah. Okay, so hopefully you learned some words to help you with your politeness and your manners in Spanish. And I will say just check out the next video to get some practice with these. I will go over some practice exercises with you so that you can practice the vocabulary and see them being used in context. Until next time, hasta luego.